All right, looks like we're recording. I'm going to mute in between questions because I'm in the newsroom and it gets a little noisy. So,
Sounds good.
all right. So talking about the pilot program with beer and wine sales at Gisa Field, I understand Bill had mentioned there was a recap meeting the university had end of last week. I was hoping you kind of start there and tell me what were the key takeaways, the highs and lows of that first weekend.
Yeah, so I think overall we're pretty pleased with how the game went, with the amount of change and the amount of new that was implemented for such a great crowd, such a large crowd. I think overall we've had really good feedback, knowing good and well that there's always improvements and efficiencies that we can have moving forward. And so we're still working with the LCB and enforcement, still gathering feedback as it rolls in, but excited about the feedback that we got from the fans, what we got from all the entities involved coming out of that, and think that we have some areas of improvement, but we think we've got a really good first game under our belt to then move forward in a direction that we continue to offer, a safe and secure, awesome game atmosphere. So I think we're in a pretty good place.
What are those, if you don't mind, just kind of the top highs and top lows of looking back at that first weekend?
Yeah, so obviously high volume of patrons that we had in the stands. We thought timeliness through the venue, although everybody wants it to be instantaneous, we thought we at least got them to a manageable level, knowing now how the flow of the stadium works, that we can repath some things and continue to improve that. We reviewed again timeliness data. We reviewed all the different survey feedbacks that we got, and then of course our per cap that we look at for total food and beverage moving forward.
So it sounds like feedback came in on timeliness and kind of the workflow. Is that something where maybe just more training or tweaking the operations may come in? Am I hearing that correctly?
Yeah, I think there's just again, anytime you're implementing anything new in complete totality, somebody that whether you've been there for 40 years or it was your first time in, it was completely new. And so as the stadium is laid out, we watched, we took notes, and we think we've got opportunities to improve that going forward.
You mentioned fan feedback. What are some things that came from that?
Yeah, fans were overtly positive about the no reentry policy change, which was wonderful to hear. We obviously saw retention improve in the third quarter and fourth quarter, and then this was really the next biggest step we could take as far as offering an additional amenity to the fans. And so to be able to finally pull that off after years and years, it was good. So we just got a lot of nice compliments from the Coug faithfuls about hearing how much they enjoyed being able to partake in that.
It was one of the sticky things that I had seen kind of chatter on Facebook groups, that sort of thing, of like fans kind of worried about, oh, that non-reentry element. I as a fan myself, I always see, the mass exodus out of the stadium to the RV lots and then coming back at the second half. Wasn't sure how that was going to play out, but it sounds like it was fans were really receptive and positive about it from what you're saying.
Yeah, I think that they were. I think our team did a really good job of communicating that ahead of time, as many touch points that we could get to whomever was going to be here Saturday to make sure that they were well informed in plenty of advance time. And then signage posted all over the venue, inside and outside, so that they were aware as they were coming in or trying to head towards the gates. And then, yeah, we saw the results of the retention in the third quarter, which has historically been a challenge. And so, just need to see that. And it's been other venues across the country have implemented that over the last several years. And so from a safety and security standpoint, it's good for us to get that under our belt.
Yeah. John, I want to talk numbers potentially. Looking at, do we know how many alcoholic beverages were sold, and like how did sales look like compared to the university's projection, that sort of thing? Do you have any of that data?
Yeah, I mean, we're still working through some of the final audited information on that. I'll share with you. We had set kind of a per cap that we were hoping to get to, and that's total for food and beverage, not just beer and wine sales, but total, and we were able to exceed that. So it was the best grossing food and beverage performance that we've had in at least the last 2 years. So feel really good about where that is. Sometimes it's hard to put those projections together, based on game time, crowd size, weather. There's all sorts of factors that can go into that. And so we had set those fairly conservatively in hopes that there's significant room for growth going forward.
Ballpark number?
We're still working through that.
Okay. And I guess I have to acknowledge at least the context of this was a really, I mean, this is a sold out game for one, right? And it's a huge historic game for Washington State. So you're seeing fans from both sides of the state coming from all over because of the popularity of Apple Cup. With that context, I mean, do you think what could you offer to viewers that are hearing the look back at how the weekend went? I mean, it was set up for success in the sense that it was going to be a highly attended event and kind of thing.
Yeah, I think again we got tremendously positive feedback on how, with the amount of change that we had from no reentry to changes through the stadium, changes around the stadium, new lines and new operational plans around concessions and beverage, and again, fully acknowledging that we've got some opportunities to improve and continue to enhance the safety, enhance the speed, enhance all the other amenities that go with that. But a really positive game number one, and to be able to do that in one of the biggest crowds with a really tremendous and spirited rivalry game. I think we had a plan and we were able to execute that plan, and again learn from it, and we've got some really good opportunities going forward.
Like this was the best opportunity because of how highly attended it was to see really, okay, if we're going to push ourselves with the most people, the busiest will probably be, here's where we really test out that workflow.
Yeah, it's certainly stretched to the limits as far as what we're able to accommodate in our being a fully sold out stadium, and again passionate fan bases on both sides. That put us in a position where we could really understand what we're capable of, and how to replicate that going forward as well. Certainly, you'd always love to have opportunities to do test runs or this and that, but it's hard to test for 33,000 people in a stadium until the ball's in the air. And so it was good. It was good. I was proud of the team and the way they executed it.
Right. Let's see. Let's see, as far as operational goes, are you able to offer any reflection on any issues with staffing, crowd controls, long lines, that sort of thing, or if there's any future refinement based on that first weekend we could see going forward?
Yeah, we're just continuing to look at all the touch bases. We brought in significant amount of staff to help for that, and that will be the case going forward. We want to make sure we're implementing this in a safe and secure way that's everyone feels good about going forward. We'll continue to have that amount of staff. We're
How much more staff are we talking? Are we talking beverage and concession staff or?
just event staff in totality.
Okay.
So we had about 30% more event staff personnel there than we have historically.
And that's something we would see going forward to kind of help continue those operations.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. Awesome. Did you, I guess, as far as behavior goes, I mean, you throw alcohol in the mix. I wonder, did law enforcement or did event staff provide any context or observations to any change in behavior? Like, were there an increase in medical calls or incidents like that at all?
Not necessarily. We have gone over the data now. We got really good data back from this, but again, understanding that our numbers in totality for this game were up as far as personnel. So whether that was alcohol related or not, we did have some medical, but again, I think it was warmer than people thought it was going to be at kickoff of that game. The clouds parted and it was hot, and so I'm not sure that folks were anticipating that. And so just on the sheer volume of patrons that we had in for that game, we saw some increased numbers, but nothing over a percentile different than as far as a ratio to patrons into incidents. We didn't see any increases in that.
See what happens.
Let's see. And then
You can either just do like a generic.
what are some things, I guess, what are some changes we might anticipate as this pilot continues? Are there any lessons learned where there might be some adjustments for the next home game that we might see?
Mhm.
Nothing significant. Just continue to tighten up the plan that we had going forward. We're in constant communication with Aramark Sports Entertainment, obviously our concessionaire partner, and the LCB enforcement group. To just it's been a tremendous collaboration over the last several months getting to this, and then gathering feedback and having really open dialogue about what we can do. And so, no gross holistic changes. Just continue to kind of dial in the process and over communicate all the steps necessary for the future game. So we learned some great things, have some efficiencies to create, but think going forward, we're in a pretty good spot.
That's great to hear. And then let's see. I guess going forward, right, kind of keeping in the scope that this is a pilot, is there like a criteria or benchmarks that the university is kind of keeping an eye on as far as that the program needs to hit in order to, keep this in place or to see that it is a success or not?
Not necessarily data metrics or KPIs. What we're hoping for in this, and as we do with any adjustments that we make, is we're just continuing to try and push the fan experience forward in hopes to drive more ticket sales, better retention to games, new season ticket holders, new stakeholders in Cougar athletics. And we obviously saw a positive response to this first one, even just rolling it out and the announcement, the excitement around that. And so we're hoping we can continue to just build on that. All of these in an effort to increase attendance, increase engagement, and give our student athletes a great crowds to perform in front and week in, week out.
And I mean to kind of to dial down on that, is there like obviously with the bigger attendance, it's going to make an impact on numbers, but is there a certain a sales projection that we need to hit to show that is there any metric that would show, okay, this is working and data that would back up this will continue?
Well, it's a new revenue stream we haven't had historically, so it's all new revenues, which is wonderful in a time where the NCAA is just continually changing and we're always pushing to find new dynamic revenue streams. We know that this is a net positive for us going forward, and so we're always looking for new net positives, and this is one we'll continue to work through.
I asked you this before, but I kind of want to boil it down a little bit. So, message to WSU fans that are coming back. What is the message here? Was it a successful first weekend for this pilot, and how so?
It was a successful first pilot. We had an operational plan. We stuck through it. We executed that. Again, we know we've got some areas that we can improve on from an efficiency standpoint, and we'll work with the LCB and enforcement to make sure we execute those. But we appreciate all the positive feedback that we have. We appreciate the retention into the third and fourth quarters. And we appreciate the support and looking forward to everyone being here for the Toledo game and our final three home games as well. And
There we go. And then looking back at my notes, so we did talk about there was kind of a per capita total food and beverage data that came in. Or is it fair to say that that's something that's signaling to the university that this was a success? The why behind why we're saying it was a successful first weekend?
Yeah, there's obviously, I mean, when we look just um, again, the per cap, there's obviously a net increase overall on that. And so anytime you can prove to that, and again, there's a lot of factors that go into that as far as opponent, game time, weather, you name it. But anytime we can see a net increase in that, we need to continue to drive that forward, and we were able to do that.
All right. Well, I think that hits it on the head. As far as data goes, is that something that I could get a copy of like, down the road, or is that something I could touch base with you on later on?
Yeah, I think so. Our chief of police has all of those, and we're in pretty. I don't have the data on me, but she communicates it
Yeah.
to me. And then Aramark has the per cap
Okay.
data.
Is that something I would request through you, or is there a contact with Airmark that I could ask for as far as sales and that per capita data you were talking about?
Yeah, I can have Bill share the contact for Aramark if that works for you,
Okay.
and if you don't mind reaching out to them directly.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much. Anything else that you'd like to add on that note? Just kind of sharing how things went?
No, we're excited to be able to continue to fine tune it and
Yeah.
continue to offer new opportunities for the fans, and go Cougs.
Yeah, go Cougs. Well, thank you, Jon, for making the time. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Amanda.
Take care. Bye bye.
You too. Bye.